Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're diving into a topic that feels almost impossible to ignore. It's in the headlines, it's in our conversations, and it's definitely shaping our future. Artificial intelligence, or AI, and how it is changing our generation. Now, let me start by saying this. AI is not just futurist, uh, futuristic technology that belongs in science fiction movies anymore. It's already here, and whether we notice it or not, it's uh, it's affecting the way we live, the way we work, in even the way we think. Our generation, those of us growing up in the 2000s, in the 2010s, and now the 2020s, will probably be remembered as the first real AI generation. So in this episode, I want to explore how AI is shaping our life. I talk about the good, the bad, and the complicated. We'll cover education, jobs, relationships, creativity, and even our identity as humans. My goal is not to give you a lecture, but to have an honest conversation about what this technology really means for us. The, invinci- the, invin- the invincible, the invincible, the invisible, the invisible The invisible presence of AI. Let's start with something simple. How many times a day do we actually interact with AI without realizing it? When you unlock your phone with your face, that's AI. When Spotify recommends you a playlist, that's AI. When you scroll through TikTok and wonder how it knows exactly what kind of video you like, that's also AI. It's everywhere, silently shaping our preference, our habits, or even our moods. For parents or grandparents, technology was something they had to learn later in life. But for us, AI is something we grew up with, whether we realize it or not. We realize it or not, and because of that, it's becoming a part of our identity as a generation. AI and education. Now let's talk about education. This is one of the biggest areas where AI is changing our generation. Think about it. In the past, if you had a question while doing homework, you either had to ask your teacher the next day or spend hours flipping through books or flipping through books. Now you can just type your question into ChatGPT or another AI tool, and boom, you get an instant explanation, step by step. AI tutors are available 24/7. They don't get tired. They don't judge. They don't judge. And they can explain the same thing 100 different ways until you understand it. For many students, this is a game changer. But here's the other side of it. Are we really learning, or are we just outsourcing our brains? If AI can write you essay, solve your math problems, and even prepare your presentations, what's left for you to actually practice? This is a real dilemma for our generation, balancing the convenience of AI with discipline of learning. Jobs are the future of work. Okay, let's move into jobs because this is where things get really interesting. We all grew up hearing things like study hard, get a degree, find a stable job, but the truth is the job market is being disrupted faster than ever before thanks to AI. Some jobs are disappearing. For example, tasks like data entry, simple design work, or customer service chats can already be done by AI. On the other hand, new jobs are being created, jobs that didn't exist 5 years ago, like AI trainers, prompt engineers, or people who monitor AI ethics. So the big question for us is how do we prepare for a world where the only constant is change? Our generation may have to reinvent ourselves multiple times throughout our life. Unlike our own grandparents, or unlike our grandparents who could work 40 years in the same factory or office, we'll probably have to switch careers, learn new skills, over and adapt over and over again. AI and creativity. Now let's talk about something close to my heart, creativity. When people first think of AI, they imagine robots doing repetitive tasks, but what's shocking is how good AI has become to add creative work. It can write poems, paint pictures, compose music, and even generate realistic voices. In other words, AI is entering the very space that used to be considered uniquely uniquely unique uniquely human. The raises a big question. What does it mean to be creative in the age of AI? Some people some people fear that AI will kill art. Some people fear that AI kill some people fear that AI will kill art. Why paint a picture if a computer can do it in 10 seconds? Why write a song if AI can generate one instantly? But I don't think it I don't think it's I don't know but I don't think it's I don't think this no but I don't think it fuck digo disculpa but I don't think I but I don't think it's the end of creativity. I think is I think is an evolution. Just like photography didn't kill painting, AI won't kill human creativity. Instead, it will challenge us to be more original, more authentic, and more personal. Maybe the value of art in the future won't be about how perfect it looks, how about perfect it looks, perfect it looks, but about the human story behind it, the emotions, the flaw, the imperfections that that AI can fully capture. Relationships and human connection. Another area where AI is quietly shaping our generation is relationships. There are already AI chatbots that people talk to for comfort, even AI partners that act like digital girlfriends or boyfriends. For some, this sounds weird. For others, it feels like the future of companionship. companionship. Here's a question: if AI can simulate friendship or love, does that make it real? And more importantly, while our generation starts replacing real human connection with artificial ones because it feels easier, social media already changed the way we relate to each other. Now AI might push that even further. Instead of dealing with the messiness messiness of human relationships, arguments, misunders- misunderstandings, passions, we might escape into a world where AI always says the right things, the right thing. But but in doing so, are we losing something deeply human? To think, huh? To think. Identity and what it means to be human. At the core, at the core of all, at the core of all, at the core of all, at the core of all of this, AI forces us to ask one of the oldest question. What does this? What does it? What does it mean to be human? If a machine can think, if a machine can think, if a machine can think, can write, can even create art, then what makes us different? It is it emotions? Is it consciousness? Is it morality? Or is it something else entirely? Our generation will be the one to face these questions head on. Not in not in theory, not in theory, not in nothing, not in theory, but in reality, and that means we need to develop not only technical skills but also philosophical ones. We need to be thinkers, not just users. The risks and the responsibilities. Of course, we can't talk about AI without mentioning the risk, the risks, the risks, the risks, the risks. There's a fear of misinformation. AI spreading fake news faster than we can fact check it. There's a fear of surveillance. AI tracking everything we do online and offline. There's also there's also the fear of inequality, where only a small group of people control the most powerful AI tools, while the rest of us are just consumers. And then there's the big one. What if what if AI becomes smarter than humans? That's a whole debate on its own. Some scientists say it could be the best things ever. Others warn it could be the last invasion we ever make. The point is, AI is powerful, and with power comes responsibility. Our generation has to demand transparency, ethics, and fairness in the way AI is built and used. Other point: opportunities of our generation, but it's not all doom and gloom. Let's talk about the opportunities. Our generation has the unique chance to shape AI while its style is still evolving. We're not just passive users. We can be uh, we can be we can be creators, innovators, and leaders in this field. If you're into coding, AI is a space for you. If you're into art, AI is a tool. can you can use. If you're into business, AI can, AI can give you AI can give you insights like never before. And if you're into helping people, AI can make healthcare, education, and social work more effective. In other words, no matter what you're passionate about, AI can either be a threat or a superpower. It depends on how we use it. On how we use on how we use it. Personal reflection. Personal reflection. Let me pause for a moment and share something personal. When I first start experiencing with AI tools, I feel both amazed and a little scared. On one hand, it feels like magic, having this assistant that could generate ideas, solve problems, and even write stories. But on the other hand, I wonder, am I becoming lazy? Am I losing the ability to think for myself? And that's when it hit me. AI is not here to replace me. It's here to challenge me. It's here to ask me, what value do you bring as a human being? And honestly, that's a question all of us in this generation need to ask ourselves. Choosing talks. So to wrap this up, how is AI changing our generation? It's shaping our education, it's redefining our careers, it's challenging our creativity, it's influencing our relationships, and it's forcing us to re- rethink, rethink what it means to be human. But here's the key. AI doesn't decide the future. We do. The technology itself is neutral. It's like fire. It can keeps us warm or it can burn everything down. What matters is how we use it. Our generation has a choice to be passive consumers of AI or to be active shapers of it, to let it define us or to define it ourselves. And maybe that or and maybe that's the real lesson here. AI not just about machines. It's about us. It's about who we want to be and the kind of work we want to build. So let's embrace the challenge. Let's stay curious and let's make sure that when future generations look back at us, they can say they can say they were the ones who figure out how to live with AI, not as a slave, not as a slave to it, but as humans who use it to build something better. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode.